and welcome to Now That You're Married. My name is Liz Awoli. Today's topic is a very interesting one. We're talking about friendship. Now, not friendship like are you friends with your partner, friendship with the opposite member of sex. So, in marriage, have you ever thought about how you would feel about your spouse being friends with the opposite gender? We're here to talk about it today. My first guest is Shola Madbox. Have I pronounced that right? I hope I didn't just really mess that up. Mabox?
Mabogunje.
Mabogunje, but
Yes.
everyone calls you Mabox for short?
Yes, short.
Okay.
Yes.
You've been married for 20 years.
Yes, I have.
Wow. That was before I even knew how to, I even knew the existence of life as we know it. Congratulations, because I think 20 years. You are an IT solutions CEO.
Yes, I am.
And today we're talking about friendships, so I know you'll be able, friendships and marriage, the opposite sex, I know you'll be able to add a lot of value to that.
Sure.
Thank you for being here.
Okay.
Our second guest is Kemi Omitayo. Really good to have you here.
Thank you.
You've been married for 10 years.
Yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a decade.
Oh, well, he's still my senior.
Yeah. So how do you feel when you hear 10 and then you hear 20? Okay.
Midway through.
Do you have children?
Yes. I have two girls.
You have two girls. Okay. Our third guest is Bola Yinka-Obebe. Now, Bola is interesting because she does so many things. She runs a media outfit. She is also a designer, fashion designer, and she's an entrepreneur. So you call yourself the Renaissance woman.
Yes.
So
I like to call myself that.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the Renaissance woman?
Basically, a Renaissance woman is just someone who does a lot of things and is pretty good at it.
Okay.
So I'm a very adventurous person. I like to dabble into a lot of things.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. So you just coined that phrase, though?
Yeah, sort of.
So, good to have you on the show.
Good to be here.
You've been married for 5 years.
Yes, and I feel so young. I mean,
I like it. It's like 5, 10, 20.
Yeah.
And yours is just a huge gap. But it's a really, really interesting topic. So let's get to it.
Yes, let's get to it.
Okay. First segment is me asking you guys what your views were before you got married on how you would feel about your partner having a friend of the opposite sex. So before you got married, don't tell me how it is now, just tell me before you got married, my thoughts were on the opposite, because you would have had girlfriends and you would have thought about marriage. How would life be like with my partner having other friends that are the same sex as me? Well, we could start with you, Kemi.
Well, I think it's fine.
Okay.
As far as there's nothing
What were your thoughts
intimate.
before? What did you think?
Okay, I didn't. Well, I was just blank.
Okay.
No serious issues. I don't have any majorly. I don't preempt, and I'm not a soothsayer, or I can't see the future. So I make everything plain. I tackle them as they come.
Okay. Nice, good for you.
Yeah.
And Shola, you?
Well, the truth is that under normal circumstances, there wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
And so there was nothing wrong with it. I think it's even healthy because it gives a broader perspective. Now, if I have an issue with it, it would mean I would have insecurity issues. And really, I didn't. I think I dealt with that. I went to Unilag, and at the time I was in Unilag, the issue of your PR, your public, was something that was causing too much problems for me. And I think after a while I decided I was tired of it, because most of my friends wanted to be part of the clubs and wanted to be in the in crowd. And I'm not sure I like that kind of lifestyle. I like to be my own person.
Yeah.
So I think I dealt with those insecurities early and decided that if a lady would not like me for who I am, then that's it.
Okay.
I don't have to pretend to be somebody else.
Bola, let's hear from you.
Okay.
So let me give you a refresher.
Yes, please.
What we're talking about here is your spouse's relationship with the opposite gender. So what were your views prior to getting married? Before 5 years, what did you think?
Okay. Views usually are formed from experiences. And I'm this kind of person that has lots of male friends. I believe in I prefer having male friends around because
Why?
I feel they're more rational. We're very emotional, you know. Even for a lady, I mean, I'm a lady. I feel like this is too much stress. So it's just easier to roll with guys, and I've always been like that. And I remember I was best friends with a guy, and he was in a relationship, and she had a problem with it. I think that's what we're talking about, right?
This is it.
And I didn't get it.
You're going a bit far. We're going to come and talk
Yes.
in more detail.
I'm getting to my views.
your views,
These are
okay.
experiences that kind of formed my views.
Okay.
You know, I kind of felt, what is your problem? Like, we're just friends. I mean, I've been here before you came, and it was a problem. And I decided that I don't think I would ever make this an issue with my man if he has a female friend. As long as he said something, you're not giving me, you're not making me feel in a certain way, because I should get my cues from my man, not from his friend. The moment he starts reacting to her in a certain way, then maybe we would have a problem. So I kind of got into thought that by the time I get married, he can have as many friends as he wants, as long as we're still connected.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
all
I like
good.
it. Just out of curiosity, so what happened with you and your friend?
They broke up. She couldn't handle it.
couldn't handle
And I don't think that was my fault. I wasn't
You
going to
broke
feel
up
bad
their
about it.
friendship with their relationship.
I didn't.
It was you.
She met me in it. You know?
I've just
Yeah, it was just
She wasn't too
insecurities,
sure about
you know,
Just insecurities.
which I guess, well, she helped me deal with that. Looking at
taught
that,
you a lesson.
yeah, absolutely. It was
taught
just
you a lesson.
insecurities that had to be dealt with.
Okay, well, when we come back, we have a lot more. We're taking a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Now That You're Married. Today's topic is gender and the friendship with the opposite sex in marriage. So it's been an interesting topic. The first segment we were discussing what your assumptions were before you got married on your spouse's relationship with the opposite gender. Now I want to ask what the reality is. So let me give you an example. We've had situations where a gentleman is friends with a woman. That's his bestie. They do everything together. They have always done before he got married. Now he's married and she's married. You have situations where a man has a woman as a bestie and he's married, she's not. And you have a situation, well, you guys, you have a situation where they were besties before he got married.
Yeah.
And she's having issues, as she used to do before they got married. And she wants him to be there to lend her an ear, as he's always been. What do you say to a situation like that? And I'll go with you, Kemi.
Lending ear.
Lending
yes,
ear.
you can lend ears, no problem with that, but you shouldn't go beyond that. He can still be,
Where are the boundaries?
they can still be good friends. I don't have any issues with that. Especially if they were friends before we got married. So there's a possibility that I knew her then, and I still know her now. And I know my man. Majorly, I think the thing is, once you know your partner so well, there's some things that you shouldn't bother your head about. Especially when it comes to issues of friends with other women or vice versa. You know, so I think it's fine. For me, I don't know about somebody else, but for me, I think it's fine.
Lending ear is one thing. Let me give you another example.
Okay.
You have a situation where a guy is very good with building. So helping with artifacts. Okay, you've got a new wardrobe and you want to put it together. Is it okay for him to go to that single friend and help build her wardrobe?
Single friend.
It's a single female
Oh,
friend.
she's
She's
still
not married.
single.
She's not married now.
Well, yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are very open-minded.
Very,
Yes.
very open-minded.
Yes.
Okay, so
I
it's
mean,
fine.
if you don't give me reasons to doubt you, I won't.
Just be like, it's okay, go over to Linda's house.
I
help
mean,
her.
just there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
I believe in trust, and I think that's the basis of marriage, really. Once you start having doubts, then you start having issues. So I think you should just be open, trust your partner, and then you'll be fine. I think it's fine.
Okay.
That's
fine.
interesting.
Let's come to you, Bola, because
Oh, that's interesting. I think in marriage, you don't need any other best friend besides me.
woo,
Yeah, we wake up together. Yeah. We sleep together, we wake up together, we live in the same house, we have kids together. What are you talking about?
but what about downtime?
What? Downtime?
No downtime.
You share your downtime, your high time, your every time with me. We share it together. I mean, it's for better, for worse. It's okay to have friends, yes. And let's assume that this lady has always been there before I came. If I were the lady, I would be smart enough to be my friend
Yeah.
and be closer to me, because it's looking at it, it's inappropriate. I mean, you guys are always together. You're more with her than you are with me. So who are you in a marriage with, or who are you in a relationship with? I think once you get married, or once you decide to marry someone, there's a reason you chose me over her. Even though you guys were never in a relationship, but if you were that close, then probably you could have worked in a marriage. There's a reason you chose me over her. And I think that should be what's in view. So I should be your best friend. I should be, and if she calls maybe distress moments, it's okay to lend an ear, as long as I'm aware. It should never be, I should never be in the dark in whatever is
There should be no
going on.
secrets.
Yes,
No
there should be no
secrets, yeah.
secrets. Whatever you discuss, I would like to know, really.
So there's nothing.
I can pretend not to be aware when you guys are together or when I'm with her, but I should be in the know. These
Of
are, she was
everything,
talking
yes.
about
Oh, yeah.
trust. These are the things that nurture or grows trust in a marriage. I know what you're doing. I know, you know, right now it's hard for someone to come to me to tell me my husband is cheating, and I will believe, even if he were. Because half the time we're together, if he's liking a girl, he most likely have told me about it.
That's very open, and that's another topic for another show.
It helps me trust him more.
Okay.
I know when he's down. I know when I'm pushing him out. So I think that should be the kind of relationship you should form with me, not with someone outside
So
the
nothing
marriage.
like, okay, I need to go and help set up
You can
this person's sofa.
You can help
And it's
set up a sofa only once. But not that you're setting up the sofa,
No,
you're
that's
setting
it.
up the kitchen. Are you her only friend? I mean, there are people who do these things for a living. Hire someone. When did you become...
What if that's what he does for a living?
Yeah, then I know that's business. You had better be getting money from it. It has to be
course.
benefiting the entire family.
Of course.
So your husband has no female friends?
He has female friends. I have male friends.
Okay.
Yes, but there has to be that distance. There has to be that respect for the unity you guys have formed. You know, not like an everyday thing. Someone is in distress, it's okay to help, but you can't be in distress every day, or every hour, or every minute. No, it's inappropriate.
I respect that. I respect
Okay,
that.
let
Shola?
me throw a different angle to all of this. I've never had an issue with my wife and members of the opposite sex. And I guess to quite an extent, vice versa. But I had a few close shaves. It started as a platonic relationship. Same office.
So you were married now?
Yeah, I was married.
Okay.
She was a friend, and we got talking, and I think I happened to give her quite some advice on different areas. So we became friends. But this was a friendship between me and this lady. My objective was not to have a relationship outside of my marriage with the lady. But the problem started when the emotions started to get involved.
Women and emotions.
Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
And it was mutual. Now that's where the problem was. It wasn't planned. Now that's the danger. It wasn't planned, but it happened, and I had to... You see, it's a bit more difficult breaking it at that point.
something that started off quite
Yeah,
innocently.
it started off quite innocent. We didn't have an affair, but it could have happened. I see when you have that kind of emotional attachment, both of you want to have each other's full attention.
Yeah.
And the spouses become
Secondary.
secondary and things like that.
I mean, I'm looking at you because I'm in shock. I've never thought about it that way. But that's why sometimes they even say, you know, when you cheat emotionally, it's worse than sexually because it's
Your heart's
your
there.
heart, you know. So you didn't cheat, but
yeah, so I mean, as soon as I started discovering that, and then it got worse because when that happened, my wife wasn't even in the country.
right.
Ooh.
So I had to, I can assure you, I didn't want to cheat on my wife. I was afraid of cheating. And I had to gradually start to pull out.
How did you do it?
I think, let's say, first of all, fortunately for me, because our offices were adjacent, she lost her job. So that created some distance.
That was God working. they say God works in miraculous ways. So
Yeah.
You must have a praying wife.
Yes. And then
she has been casting a
Exactly.
And then I had to, of course, pray a lot. And I recognized that one of the things I recognized is the fact that I was afraid of falling. And then while I was praying, a thought came to my mind that what you are afraid of, you will fall for. So I had to begin to reappraise the fear and stop being afraid. And then gradually I began to gain control. And that relationship had to end. When my wife came, we discussed it together, and that was it. But it was a lesson for me. I find out that men and women who have affairs are the ones who push the boundaries. Nothing, I'm an adult, I can handle it. You can't handle that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when the emotions happen, it takes you off guard. And the danger, the other thing that I had to keep telling myself was that nothing good comes out of this. Unfortunately, we don't learn. We actually think we're sharper than the guy or the
Next
lady
door.
who fell.
Mine won't be the
Yeah,
same.
mine won't be the same and things like that. But I mean, if you look through history and you look at the path it takes them afterwards, it's not worth it.
It's not.
You know, so you have to remind yourself it's not worth it. I mean, you have your life just wants to live. Everybody wants to be happy. That path doesn't lead to happiness.
No.
And so you have to tell yourself that and keep reminding yourself. Because, you know, when you are being tempted, all you are thinking about is the good side. And you don't think about the consequences, and you hope the consequences won't catch up.
Happen.
But you have to remind yourself of that because you're going to live with it for the rest of your life. This is not something that happens and anybody forgets. You live with the consequences for the rest of your life. When somebody else sees you, this is the guy that messed up. This is the lady that, you know, it's just, you know, and then...
Didn't you hear their story? That's
It becomes the gist in town.
Yes. You see, like I said, because there's the flip side. The flip side in the sense that you had good intentions at the beginning, like I said. We were just friends. And obviously, for us to be friends, we like each other. If we spend too much time together, it's just there.
It's natural.
We're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be going more into having friends of the opposite sex in marriage. Welcome back to Now That You're Married. I'm here with Bola, Kemi, and Shola. We've been talking about friendships in marriage and specifically dealing with the opposite gender. So we've kind of chopped and screwed quite a few issues here. Now that we're back, I want to discuss the reality of actually avoiding issues. So there's no doubt, no matter how. So we have Kemi here, who is all, I mean, your husband must be like super chilled, Kemi. I'm loving it. 'Cause I know nothing is ever.
We're so different.
I know nothing is ever
so
perfect.
different.
There's no such thing as perfect.
Yeah.
But you know, you seem pretty liberal when it comes to this particular topic. However, even if you're liberal, perhaps your husband, you know, may have issues with you having friends of the same sex. So how do we avoid issues? And I'll start with you, Shola, because before we went on a break, you were telling us you're giving us some insight.
So I think to a very large extent, the first thing is to remind oneself, like I said, that just look around. Open your eyes. In the last several years, we've had men in positions of power that have lost it.
Yeah.
There's Bill Clinton. There's the, what's the guy's name? The IMF guy. There's the head of the CIA, at one time a top-ranking official. All in the name of adultery. I mean, so it's, and if you look at the amount of marriages and pain it is causing, it never ends well. I mean, it just never ends well. So I think it's best not to push the boundaries. That's one.
So when you say push the boundaries, limit friendships or limit the depth?
No, actually, they are the kind of friends a couple would have. Here's the truth. Couples will always have friends. But that's just the point. They are their friends. Not
Just
your
Our
friend
or his
or
friend.
my friend.
Our friend.
Ideally, when we get married, we're supposed to be one.
Yes.
Become a unit.
Yeah, become a unit. So why will both of us have a unit? Have separate friends.
Even of the opposite sex?
Yeah, even of the opposite sex. And so you find out that the friends that last with couples are the friends
Family
of
friends.
the two.
Yes.
They don't even have to be family or anything, but they are friends of the two.
Genuinely.
Genuinely. I mean, you can see this is clean.
Yeah.
And they like both of you. You know, sometimes you can, as human beings, we're intuitive.
Yes.
You know when somebody likes you.
Sure that.
You know when somebody is putting up a facade. And so, when you see, and you would attract. And so, both of you will know these are our friends. And so, if, for example, my wife is with that person, I don't have an issue.
Because it's both your friends.
Yeah. You see, the relationship has been tested over time. Trust has built. That's just the point. Trust has built. And then, you know, so it's we need to look at all of that.
So how should such issues be managed?
Well, I think the issues majorly is with men. Yes. No, really, it's with men.
That's her.
That's my view. No, really, that's my view.
I beg to disagree.
I think the
So
issue.
basically, women are allowed as many men friends as possible.
No.
Men,
That's not what I'm saying. It depends on your personality. For some women, they have drives like men. For some women, sexually. For such women, I think they should just keep their cool. But for some other women that just love to have fun, just go out, get dressed, go to parties, just have a few friends, I think it's okay.
to have male
Yes.
friends. But with
Because
the men,
all
so-
they
so
just
what would you
do
say?
is just gist what's going on in
I
town.
understand. So
And
for
that's
the,
all
for
to
the
it.
men, how would they deal with the
Should they?
issues?
Yeah.
How
Well,
should they?
for a man, you should know your limits. I think you should know your limits as an adult. You should know that if I move this far, it's likely that something will happen. And then you should know how to pull back. I'm a woman, I don't know how they think. I don't know how they do their things. So I think for a man, they should know how to sort themselves out.
Thank you, Kemi. Thank you.
You're
Now,
welcome.
Bola.
As a lady, I think I need to be considerate of my partner. And not just think for myself, also think for him, because we're emotional. True men can be very logical, and it doesn't mean that they're not emotional. If we were not feeding the emotions, we probably wouldn't be together. So as a woman, I also need to be more considerate of how he feels, or how certain things, how certain pictures look to him. If I think about him a lot, it will also caution me. And like he said, there has to be a greater goal. I believe when two people come together to form a unit, it's beyond you. There has to be something. I always say, in the Western world, there is a lot of divorce going on. But have you noticed that people who are politicians, for example, they usually stay together. Why do they still stay together?
Because
Amidst
there's
all of
more.
this, there is more. There's a greater good. There is something greater than them, than the individuals in that marriage. I think in a marriage, you need to find that greater good that you guys can look up to. Like you said, temptations are always there. I mean, you work late, your work is demanding, you have a secretary or you have this. Men usually, when they're exhausted, the thing that eases them is sex. Like she said, they're more inclined to it. Meanwhile, a woman is tired, the first thing she wants to do is just sleep, you know? But then, know your boundaries, remember your partner, and know when to pull back. If you can't pull back on your own, there's always, I believe that your partner should also be a form of saving grace. If she's the kind of person that you talk to, or if you talk to each other, you call the person, you're feeling in a type of way, why don't you just direct that emotions back home? You're feeling a type of way and you're like, okay, girl, this is how I'm feeling right now, and blah, 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 and I want this with you, which is how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, so there has to be a channel. Because like he said, emotions just come up. There has to be a channel. If you don't channel it out, something will happen.
Okay.
It must happen. So I think that's the best way to manage it. Be considerate, know yourself, know when to run, flee appearances of evil, not flee evil. When it looks like evil, you flee, you know. Once you know yourself.
Don't wait till you have confirmation.
Exactly. Don't wait to be sure, you know. Once you
Is
hear,
it fire? Is it fire?
Once you hear, you know, just flee.
Yeah.
And I think the world will be a better place.
Thank you very much. Very insightful, guys. Okay, we're going to be wrapping up, but I want a final word. So, final words for singletons out there watching the show. Maybe they're not married or they're thinking of being married. What would you advise them in terms of this topic?
Well, I think they should put the spouse into consideration first. You have to know the kind of man or the kind of woman you're getting married to, first of all. It will help to checkmate such things. If you like to have the opposite sex and your spouse does not like it, then you have to cut it down. But if he's fine with it, or if she's fine with it, then go ahead. It's family, friends, you know.
So just
It
put
could
yourself
grow.
in
It
that
could
person's
grow, yes.
shoe is what
Yes.
you're saying. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Bola?
Okay. Know your husband, know your wife. And I don't believe that, yes, you should have family friends who are both your friends. But I think because if you have separate lives, there's no way you won't have individual friends. Trust your partner above all and communicate. That's what makes trust grow.
Can't go
Keep
wrong with
communication. Yeah.
Thank you, Bola. Thank you.
You're
Shola?
welcome.
Okay. I think it's important that they understand also the deeper issues. Anybody planning to get married wants some form of intimacy. There are three components of intimacy. The first is trust. The second is understanding. The third is openness. Now, when you think about that, and you find yourself in a relationship your spouse is uncomfortable with, it means you're beginning to tamper with the issues of trust. Now, the thing about trust is that I can't tell you trust me. It's earned.
It's earned, yeah.
Can't request it.
Yeah. So you must be mindful of the consequences of your actions. Do things in a way that your spouse can trust you. And so don't behave in a way that the person, if you come home late, the person is already thinking of the
Suspicious.
worst. Now, it's not healthy for a relationship. And there's no point saying your spouse has a problem. You created it by your behavior.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bola, Kemi, Shola, it's been a really interesting topic. Thank you for joining us. You guys, you've been watching Now That You're Married. See you next time.